Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the new trading week. I'm Dan from Trading with Dan, and this is our Bitcoin morning update. So we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour. As you can see, we basically bounced off our 30k level again. Very fortunately, because it definitely isn't looking too good at the moment. Did initially get resisted at our resistance level, which is obviously quite normal to see, but then we did basically manage to break through that with one nice big green candle up to basically the halfway point, the midway point. The pretty important point, I think, in this wider range, because this wider range we're trading in, obviously when we're in the top half, you kind of assume that we've got a higher likelihood of breaking out to the top side, and obviously when we're in the lower half, we've got a higher likelihood chance of breaking to the downside. So we are approaching that midpoint. We have got to get basically over 36,000, and then confidence may start to seep back into the market. Because obviously things are quite bearish looking at the moment, but this is very good to see. This is very promising. It was looking pretty bad, but we have managed to basically turn it around and get supported when realistically you could say the odds were potentially against us. So yeah, this is looking good. I mean, the next step is obviously get above 36,000, and I think we could really see a lot more confidence come back into the market, and potentially get a test up to 42,000. Into the low 40s, like say 40, 41, maybe even 42. Then we could potentially hope, if we don't break through at that point, which I suspect we wouldn't, we could hope for some back tests of the support levels at the higher level support levels, i.e. the $39,000 level and this $36,000 get supported there, then turn up and then try and break through. That would be the bullish scenario. Clearly, the clear and obvious present danger is we get rejected where we are now, maybe have some wicks above, come back down, and then realistically, if we take out 33k, we have to be in trouble. We have to at least be coming down to 30, and it's just difficult to imagine that we don't break below it at that point. But we shall see. So obviously, what we're looking for is a break and a close above 36,000, and definitely not a break and a close below 33,000. Let's have a look at some of those altcoin pairings. Well, one of them, Ethereum Bitcoin picking itself up here, as you can see. I mean, this kind of ties into what I'm saying. I feel like we're getting front ran that midpoint of the range here, because obviously once we get back up into this half, a lot more confidence will come into the crypto market, and I think altcoins will start to do okay again. They've obviously been bleeding out recently, but I think Ethereum obviously been one of the number one altcoin, and has been bleeding pretty hard. I feel like it is getting front ran by people thinking we are going to break above 36,000. Confidence is going to come, and then people are going to buy Ethereum against BTC back up. And I think that's potentially what we're seeing here. But obviously, that is all predicated on the fact that we do get above and hold 36,000. So if not, I do think this will potentially come back down again. But like I said, if we do get over, then yeah, we could start to see this make a move back up, maybe above these highs and onwards and upwards to our higher targets. That's what I was going to say, just to our higher targets, basically. If we want to look at the USD pairing, as you can see, it is smacking into our resistance level, our important resistance level. This is a very important resistance level, if you can see in the context of this price action we've got going on. So if we do basically break above here, then that would look very good for a swing failure below this important level, back above, and then we would look to target the top, which would be, just rounding it up, we'll call it 3,000, and then potentially break above 3,000 and continue onwards and upwards in this upwards trend. I do feel like the crypto market as a whole has been testing, as pretty sternly testing people. A lot of people are in Bitcoin in this level that got distributed into. They were accumulating when the potentially well, obviously the smarter players, smarter just in the fact that we went down. I wouldn't say smarter, you know what I mean, with IQ tests or whatever, but yeah, basically they were accumulating this level. They are offside. So yeah, a lot of the market is up. But basically what I'm saying is we now could be they could obviously potentially be accumulating in this accumulation zone, and then we do move back up. But yeah, basically a lot of people are in Bitcoin at higher prices, so there is potential, obviously overhead resistance as they either cut their losses or take the break even if we get back up. But yeah, that's just market dynamics. That is just how it works. But yeah, this market has been testing these people. It has been looking to break down. It has basically taken half of some people's money when we were around 30,000, and they obviously bought around 60,000. So obviously seeing the potential to lose even more. That is a 50% loss. Half of your money is pretty much a puke point for a lot of people. So yeah, some people were selling. There was obviously a lot of fear. But if we can turn this around, then yeah, we will realistically, we could be looking at 100k plus Bitcoin ultimately towards the end of the year. Yeah, so that, I mean, there's a lot of hoping and bullishness going on here, and all we've done is move to the midpoint. We've obviously got to break above here. But yeah, things could start to look good. Again, just trading sideways within this wider range, but particularly in the top half, ultimately breaking above, moving in towards the 50s, coming back, testing this top of this level as support, then moving onwards and upwards, working our way through this high volume node, and then breaking above into a blue skies breakout. That is the play. That is basically the Goldilocks scenario. They're not completely unreasonably at all Goldilocks scenario. At the end of the day, I mean, you could basically say we're going to go up or we're going to go down. And if we're going to go up, that would probably be the most likely scenario. We play it, basically break above, play in this top half a bit, break above into towards the 50Ks, come back down, basically get supported by around this 40K, move back up, struggle, fight our way through this level, back through the 60s, and once we get back through these highs, back towards above 65K, for example, 65, 70K even, then yeah, we'll be in blue skies, popping our way above 100K, I am sure. And then, as much as I don't want to say it, Bitcoin will always surprise you both to the upside and the downside. I mean, the fact that I mean, just on the basis that Bitcoin surprises you, we could see 200k plus Bitcoin, because that would be a surprise. Not that I don't expect it, like my do you know what I mean? My human bias, my human recency bias, my human my human brain does not tell me that is likely, but also my human brain is smart enough to know that it is often wrong. And these markets, especially Bitcoin, will do things that you don't expect, and because I don't expect it, therefore it could happen. But anyway, so yeah, things are looking definitely better. If we have a look at some traditional markets, the S&P futures, obviously looking pretty good up there as well. The DXY breaks down, then I think we basically will hold the upper half of this level. We will start trying to test that 40k level, and we certainly won't see, not certainly, but I don't think we will see lower than 30k if the DXY does break below here and start to trend back downwards. I think that will be it. I think that will be the signal for some major risk on, some major crack up boom, potentially even blow off top for a lot of these markets. Big moves, yeah, big moves, and then maybe in towards the end of the year, start of next year, we start to see some problems. But hey, I mean, we've obviously got to get the first move right first, rather than the up than the down. But yeah, we'll see if we get the up first in risk markets, which would obviously correspond with a down in the dollar. But yeah, yeah, interesting times, interesting week. We shall see what's happened. Let's just have a quick look at gold and silver. Yeah, not doing a lot. Very yeah, not doing a lot here. I mean, very much looks like a bear flag here, but we'll just have to see which way it breaks, because I clearly have a bias, so I'm just not going to comment on it. Silver as well. Yeah, basically we got above this trend line, into this horizontal resistance, but back below again, looking a bit like a bear flag. But I mean, I just my bias, my human brain is telling me that this is going to turn back onwards and upwards to the upside. But we shall have to see. Bitcoin dominance not making a massive move in the context of what Ethereum is doing, the number one altcoin, but still looking like it could potentially be trying to put a top in here now. And then obviously if this does come down, I mean, obviously happy times for altcoins and crypto on the whole. Because obviously it is confidence inducing for crypto, and obviously most people in crypto, the vast majority of people in crypto are not just in Bitcoin alone. So obviously altcoins helps them increase their Bitcoin value and just their general net wealth quicker than the rate of change in Bitcoin. Nothing else I particularly want to look at here. So yes, over to those stochastics, those good old stochastics. 4 hour, like we said yesterday, moving up was looking like it was going to give us a chance to hold above that 33, hold and break that 33k level. But we are getting toppy in this now, so it is time for the 4 hour to pass the baton onto some of these other ones, which, yeah, the 10 hour is looking good. Had a move up, had a pullback, and now it's moving back up in the bullish half as well. 10 hour looking good to obviously take that baton from the 4 hour and keep us looking good. 12 hour similar as well, getting into the top half. This is good. This is good to see. This is good for basically this break above 36,000, which is only $1,000 away. Daily as well, turning back up. Daily gets going, then yeah, we're clearly going to see that test or towards the 40k. 2-day not turned up yet. 3-day has turned up again. 5-day looking to turn back up. Weekly, all from very low levels. These, I mean, the positives I'll take, obviously weekly and monthly doing their thing, but yeah, these higher time frames, more powerful higher time frames, are all turning back up from very low levels. And I mean, it just gives us, without being even more optimistically bullish, it does give us the potential for those to obviously get going and take us basically back to our all-time highs, in which case you would expect price discovery and a break above. Those high time frames will certainly help us with that if they do get going and price does get going. The stochastics will start to look good after we can't call it a bullish reset with the moves down, because we've had like a greater than 50% pullback in price action. But we just, I mean, yeah, so we don't need, it doesn't matter what we call it, either way they can turn up from a low level and price action can then start to get going again from basically a base of around 40,000. So yeah, 3x 40,000 gives us 120,000, 4x 160,000. 5x 200,000. Could we get a 5x from 40,000? We very much could. We got a 6x plus from 10,000. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, lots of optimism and hopium in this, so I hope that has brightened up your Monday mornings. We've just got to get through this 36,000 first, and then obviously ultimately get through 42, but I don't think we'll catapult straight through. But again, I revert you back to crypto does surprise you. I think a lot of it will come down to the dollar, because there is obviously the rate of change, obviously, but if the dollar is increasing, and then it obviously then starts to decrease, that is obviously a bigger difference in obviously the rate of change. It goes from obviously heavily positive to, well, not heavy, yeah, heavily positive to then negative. So yeah, that could then start to see a proper swing in risk assets, as they are no longer then factoring in higher dollar value. They're then starting to factor in the lower dollar value, and obviously that would give a big swing in the potential appetite for risk. So if this just starts to come down, if this just break below this level, and then ultimately if it does break below here, I mean, things are going to be looking good for that one last big pump up in everything. before basically society breaks down. We go into Mad Max scenarios and all that cool stuff. So yeah, there we go, guys. Remember, this is clearly not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.